Hey everybody, I'm Kylie and I am one of the Greenwire community managers, and so this is round 2 of our Greenpeace Greenwire training. So I just want to take a couple minutes and let folks sign on and get the live stream going. So I'm just going to give it a couple minutes before we get started. So if you're watching the live stream, you can go ahead and let me know that you're watching. Just reach out to me on Greenwire. You can post on my profile, and then I'll know that you are watching the training, and I can send you the notes that we need for the training. All right, so we're going to give it a couple more minutes and get started. All right, I see that somebody just joined. It's very exciting. So whoever just joined, if you guys want to just go ahead and reach out to me on Greenwire. You don't have to do it right now, but after the training, just post on my shop box, and then I'll be able to send you folks the notes for the training, so you guys don't have to write everything down that I'm going to say. I'm going to send you a document that has step-by-step everything that we're going to go through. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to share my screen. So this is really the kind of format of this is really just going to be just going through and seeing how Greenwire works and going through all of the tools that you can use on Greenwire just step by step. All right, so you should all be able to see my screen now, and we're just going to get started. All right, so first, as most of you will recognize, this is the Greenwire homepage. So this is where, over in the overview, everything that anyone is posting on Greenwire, so events, documents, blogs, anything that you want to share with the Greenwire community is going to show up on this overview here. And a great way to think about Greenwire is the 3 C's, which are create, which you can see here in the overview, creating events, creating blogs, and all these documents. And it's really awesome ways to share your Greenwire story, share the story of what your group is doing. The second C is contact. So you can see folks are reaching out on the public shop box and saying, hey, I'm in the LA area, what can I do? How can I get involved? And then we're able to go and connect those folks to the LA group and really help them to get in contact with Greenpeace staff and get in contact with other volunteers in their area. And then the third C is coordinate, which we see through our events and our groups on Greenwire, and really how we can use Greenwire as a tool to coordinate our groups and to make them as successful as possible. All right, so starting out, we're going to go to the Greenwire profile. So I'm actually logged into a fake account right now, so it's not my regular account since I have administrative privileges. So I want to make sure that you guys are seeing in this training the same thing that you would see on your own accounts. All right, so we're going to look at my profile as an example. All right, so your profile is how people are going to really get in contact with you on Greenwire. So, I see that Melanie joined. That's awesome. Hey, Melanie. And so you want to make sure that it's really accessible and really representative of you. So that's going to start out with your profile picture. So you want your picture to be of you, and you want it to be a recognizable picture and kind of an accessible picture, because the whole point of Greenwire is to meet people and make connections so that you can take action together offline. So you don't want your picture to be of, like a random object or the polar bear avatar. You really want that to be recognizable as you, so that when people are meeting up with you in the real world offline, they recognize you from your profile and are comfortable coming up and talking to you. All right. And then your about me, you want this to be a little bit of a cut down version of your story of self. So, for example, I talk about what my role is. I work in the DC office with the National Activist Network. So here you want to say, are you a group leader? Are you a community coach? Or are you just a Greenpeace volunteer and you're looking for a way to get involved? Or like, and then you want to go into what brought you into this movement, and really kind of try to identify with people. This is what that's going to give the opportunity for people to identify with you. So, for example, I say that I came into this movement through a deep love of animals and really through a conservation lens. And then I really learned a lot more about it when I was in college, and learned that it's really not just about animals, it's really about human justice, and it's so much of a bigger movement than just conservation. And so that's really exciting to me. And then I also just added, some interesting information about myself. Like, I'm from Texas and I love elephants and I love cats. And really just trying to humanize myself and help people find connections with me. So, and then I added some pictures into my profile as well, just because I think that it makes it a little more interesting and gives kind of more of a scope into who I am. All right, so how you're going to add all this stuff to your profile, if I go back to this profile tab and I click edit profile, so this is how you're going to edit your profile. So you want to make sure that your location and contact details are up to date, just so that we as staff are able to contact you and get in touch. Everyone on Greenwire is not going to be able to see this information, only staff. So don't feel like your information is just kind of out there for the world to see. So when you want to update your picture, you just select an image and then upload it. And then you can edit your about me here. You can add links, you can add pictures, just to make your about me a little more exciting. All right. You can add your school. And something that I think is really awesome, you can add your social media. So just once again, giving people another way to get in touch with you. So you can add your Facebook, just copy and paste the URL from your profile onto this, and then that'll give people a chance to get in touch with you on Facebook as well. All right, skills. This is something that's really exciting that you can add to really flesh out your profile. And this is something that you're going to want to make sure that your team members are doing as well. So you can say, for example, I'm a painter, I'm a musician, and I also am a campaign fanatic. I love all of these campaigns and I really want to get involved in all of those. And then let's say I have public speaking skills. So then when people are looking for folks with those skills, they can identify you, and you can bring everything that is unique to you and the unique skills that you have to the movement, and to really help make sure that everything is really functioning to the best of its ability and bringing your skills. All right, so your emails and notification settings, you can, under subscription settings, edit how you want to receive notifications. So you can receive notifications immediately, hourly, daily, or weekly. And I would suggest that you at least get your notifications daily, so that you can find out everything that's going on in your groups. And if folks are trying to reach out to you, you can get in contact with them within at least a day. All right, so then when you're done editing your profile, you can just click save, and that will save all of those changes. All right, and so then going back to my profile, I just want to draw attention to the fact that a lot of people are posting on my shout box, as you can see, and I try to do my best to get back to those folks within 3 days because that's what's going to bring them back to the platform. When people are engaging with them and answering their questions and giving them ways that they can get involved and really making them feel like a part of the community. Because if someone posts on your shout box and says, hey, I heard that you have this group, I really want to get involved, but then you kind of ignore them for 2 weeks and don't respond, then they're not going to want to come back on the platform and they're not going to want to get involved offline with your group. All right. So now we'll talk about contacting other folks. So a great tool that you can use is your Friends tab. So you're going to click Friends on your profile, just that tab. And then this is a great place that you can keep kind of a running list of everyone that you want to keep in touch with and really make sure that you're able to find those people quickly so you don't have to search for them. So this could be your top volunteers or Greenpeace staff that you want to be able to contact, and then you can just go into this list and really get a hold of them quickly. All right, so and if you're looking for help with Greenwire, you're going to want to go to Greenwire Help and then click Who's Who. And then this is going to take you to a list of all the Greenpeace Greenwire community managers. So this is going to be all of the National Activist Network staff, and you have bios of us and links to our profiles so you can reach out to us. And then at the bottom, you have the Greenpeace Greenwire community coaches. So if you have questions about building a group or questions specifically for your community coach and you're trying to find your community coach, you can use this section of the site. All right, so if you're having trouble with Greenwire, the best people to reach out to would be me or to Dan Cannon. And if you have questions about how to get involved in the Arctic campaign and see how you can start a local group, then Emily is definitely the best person for you to reach out to. All right, so speaking of building a local group, we can go over how to build a group. So you're going to go to the Community tab and then click Groups. And then click this orange button here that says Add Your Group. All right, and then I'm actually going to go back to my profile so that I can access a group I'm already in and click My Groups. And then click Greenpeace Chicago, which we're going to use as an example group today. All right, so when we're creating the group, the first thing that we want to do is select a group name. So Greenpeace Chicago, this is a great name. It's very clear, to the point, and it's really important to include your geographical location just because Greenwire is a national community, and so we want it to be as easy as possible for folks to find groups in their areas. So then you're going to want to select a group type, which for most of you will be a local group. And then the subscription type, you can either have an open group, which means that anyone can join the group, which is what I would recommend. You can have an enroll group in which anyone can join, but they have to be approved by an administrator. Or you can have an on invitation group, which means that you can only join the group if you're specifically invited. All right. So you want to make sure that you include a location and an address for your group and also a location name. So this is going to be the place where you usually have your meetings so that if somebody goes to that group page and they see where your office is located or where you usually meet, then they can go ahead and go to that meeting without having to be specifically invited. They can just go ahead and join because you might not be able to catch them that same day that your meeting is going on. All right, so basic group information. The mission, you can see here, Greenpeace Chicago welcomes all who share in Greenpeace's mission of advancing environmental activism for a green and peaceful future through creative communication and nonviolent direct action. So that's going to give us an idea of what Greenpeace Chicago is all about. And then under the group description, which is down here, you can see This is a little bit more fleshed out, so I think that they could actually put a little more information here, but you want to say um, kind of what your group is, what your group is working towards, what your goals are, the kind of things that you've done in the past. And this is really like a story of us and now. So how are we all going to come together to achieve our goals? All right, and then other information, this says for Greenpeace Chicago, campaign volunteer meetings are held semi-regularly on Wednesday evenings. That's really important to include just so that, like I said, when somebody comes to the group, say they join on a Wednesday morning and they say, oh, well, there's a meeting tonight, I can definitely go to that. But someone from Greenpeace Chicago may have not been able to reach out to them in that same day. So it's really great that they're able to just go to the meeting and get involved right away. All right. And so that can go in the other information group, like I said. All right, so then you're going to select 2 images for your group, a large image and a small. So the large image is going to be on the public page, and the public page is just what folks see before they become a member of the group. So if you're trying to join the group, you just click this orange button, which would say subscribe to group. So you can see the mission here and then the group description over here. All right, so they have this big picture of Chicago, which clearly is representative of Greenpeace Chicago. And then I actually think that their small photo is really great. It's a photo from one of their Shell rallies at a Shell gas station. And I think that this is really great because it's very representative of the kind of work that Greenpeace Chicago does and the way that folks can get involved in Greenpeace Chicago. So like I said, you want to really make people want to get involved. So seeing that picture, they can say, oh, that sounds like a really fun event. That's the kind of thing that I want to do. I want to get involved in this group. And then that can also be seen just on the public shout box of the group. So you can see some photos from past events at Walmart and Target around sustainable seafood. And you can see just some folks having fun, doing photo petitions. Greenpeace Chicago has some great posters that they come up with, and they always look like they're having a really great time, which is really important because that's what's going to get people in your group. That's what's going to make people really want to get engaged and really want to spend time with you and help you save the world together. All right, and then you can also use the group shout box just for announcements. So Jessica just posted that campaign action night was happening on Wednesday for their new forest campaign push. All right, and then finally, you want to make sure that you provide a primary contact and a secondary contact for your group. This is just so that if folks have questions about the group, then they have someone that they can directly reach out to and that they can directly contact. And then this is also great on our end as staff because we are able to reach out to whoever is running this group. And if we want to help you promote an event, or if we want to help recruit people to your group, or if even we have a question about your group, then we know who to contact. And then if your group has a Twitter or a Facebook, you can add that to the group profile just like you did on your individual profile. So you just select your Facebook and then you can copy and paste the URL. All right, so back in the group, we're going to go to the Manage Group tab. So we're going to send an email to everyone in the group. So we're going to go click on People after you click Manage Group. And then this is going to come up with a list of everyone that's in the group. Then you want to click this checkbox next to where it says Name. And then make sure that you click this box that says select all 86 rows. So that's going to select everybody in the group. And then you can click choose an operation and click send email and then click go. And then that's going to take you to an email template. So an important thing to remember when you're sending an email to your group is that the email is not going to come from Greenpeace Chicago and the email is not going to come from you personally. The email is going to come from greenwire.usa@greenpeace.org. So you want to make sure that you include in the subject line, you would say like Greenpeace Chicago meeting tonight. so we can see, so that as soon as someone gets the email, they know what it's about. And then in the message, you want to talk about your event that's coming up and inviting folks to join the event, but you also want to make sure that you sign it with your name and your email and also maybe a contact phone number, just so that, once again, if folks have questions, they're reaching out to the right person. All right, so we're going to go back to the Manage People tab. And you can also export your group members. So you're going to click this box here that says export group members.xls, and you can download an Excel document that has the names of everyone in your group, which is really exciting. So you can have a running list of everyone. And as regular users, you're not going to be able to access phone contact information for your group. However, your community coaches do have that ability. So if you have if you want to phone bank your group to invite folks to an event, then reaching out to your community coach is a great thing to do. Or you can reach out to one of the National Activist Network staff, and we can get that information for you and send it to you so that you can phone bank your group, which is always a really great way to recruit folks to events. All right, so some other things that you can do here in the Manage People tab, you can set folks as an administrative member. So let's say I want to set Ashley and Dana as administrative members. So I'm going to select their names and then click Choose an Operation, Modify Membership Stat. Oh no, sorry. Change Role in Group, and then click Go. All right, sometimes you got to do this a couple times. All right, so then click Go. Okay. All right, let's try just this one. All right, so then click Administrative Member, and then click Next, and that'll set them as an administrative member. All right. So one more thing that you can do in your group is you can add people to the group. So if people are joining Greenwire and they're not in your group yet, you can just type in their username. So let's say I wanted to add myself to this group. I can just type in my name and then click Add Users, and then I'll be added to the group. So it's really easy. And that's a great way that you can get people involved in your group, even if they haven't joined yet. All right, so that is all I've got for you on groups. So we're going to go back to Greenpeace Chicago. And now that we have our group, we're going to create an event. So there's a couple different ways that you can do this. You can go to your group page and then click the Events tab, or you can click Community and then Groups. Oh, sorry, Community and then Events. And you can click Add Your Event. And then in Greenpeace Chicago, you can also just click Add Your Event. So we're going to use this as an example event, this palm oil event. All right, so we're going to click that orange button to add an event. All right, and the first thing that it's going to ask is part of which group is this event. So right now it says Greenpeace Greenwire USA. So that's going to be everyone that's on Greenwire. But I also want this to show up on Greenpeace Chicago. So even if I want everyone on Greenwire to see it, I definitely want it to show up on my group page. So if someone goes to my group page, they'll see the event on that page. So it's really important that I also put in Greenpeace Chicago up here. And so if I only want folks in Greenpeace Chicago to see the event, then I can click the members of selected groups only, and I can say Greenpeace Chicago. And then only people who are in that group can see the event. But I would recommend doing all registered users. So because not everyone in Chicago is going to be in your group. So you want to make sure that new members that haven't joined yet, or just folks that have been around a while and maybe don't know about the group, can still access your event. All right, so general information, the title, it's really great to include, once again, your geographic location because we are, like I said, a national platform, and you want to make sure that when people see your event, they know where it's happening because we a lot of times have several events going on at the same time. For example, our letter to the editor events that are going on right now, folks are hosting those all over the country. So it's really great to include your city so that folks in that area can really quickly identify that an event is happening near them. All right, and then you're also going to select an image. So as you can see here, this is the image that they use, this nice orangutan picture. Once again, you want something that's really representative of the event and what you're going to be doing, which is really great because this is representative of the forest campaign, and it's also representative of doing a photo petition, which is what's going to be happening at this event. So that's a really great example. You want to make sure that you have your organizers. So if there's another host than just you, you can add another organizer and just type in their name. So I'll type in my name and we'll see that I'm added as an organizer. So once again, this just gives folks a person to reach out to and a person that they can contact if they have questions. All right, the description. You want to give a bit of context. Why is this event happening? So if you're doing a letter to the editor event, you want to talk about Arctic drilling and why we're trying to prevent Arctic drilling, why this cause matters, and why writing a letter to the editor is going to help. And then you just want to talk about kind of what you're going to be doing at the event and really give folks an idea of what the event's going to be like. So here we have a photo petition event to pressure PepsiCo to adopt a comprehensive palm oil policy and getting images and engaging the public to post on Twitter and Instagram. So it's pretty self-explanatory. And you just want to make it sound like fun and like it's going to be a good time because that just always makes volunteering better. All right, your date and location. You want to select if it's a one-time event or an ongoing event. Make sure that you put the correct time, pretty self-explanatory. The address and location name. So if you're meeting at a Starbucks or if you're meeting at a specific place in the park, you want to make sure that you include that just to make it as easy as possible for folks to reach you. The event type, you can choose if you want this to be, or if this is a photo petition, for example. We can say photo opportunity. So that is what would be used for this Chicago event with palm oil. And then if none of these work for you, you can totally just add another type of event. And then the volunteer roles. This is a really great tool because you can use this to say what you're going to need in your event. So for example, the palm oil event, we're going to need probably at least 2 photographers. I'm going to type in photographer here, and then the maximum people needed are 2. And then I'm going to add another item, and we can say photo petitioners. And I'm going to want probably around, let's say, 10 photo petitioners. And so then when folks are RSVPing and signing up for the event, they can specifically say what role they want to fill. And then that's really great for the host because then you know what you still need and what you're going to have available on the day. And I've also seen folks use that volunteer roles for food, like someone to bring a snack, someone to bring dessert. So that's another way that you can use it. You can definitely let your creativity shine and really use things however it's going to work best for your group. All right. So we can go to the enrollments tab to see everyone that signed up for the event. And then you can just go through and reach out to those folks and say, hey, I saw that you RSVP'd for the event. I'm so excited to see you there. And you just want to kind of confirm with them and really make sure that they're excited about coming to the event. All right. So now that we have our event, how are we going to recruit for the event? How are we going to get people there? So we're going to search for people. So we're going to go to community and then click members. And then this is the best way that you can find people within a certain mile radius of where you live. So I'm going to type in Chicago, Illinois into the location range box here. And then let's say a 25-mile radius of Chicago. And I don't need to type anything into the keywords box. That's just going to mess up my search. So I want to make sure I'm only typing in the filter tab here. So the keywords you can use if you're looking for like a very specific member or a very specific group that you already know the name of. And that's what's going to help you to find that when you're using the keywords. But if you're looking for folks in a specific area, you only want to type into the location range. All right, so I typed in Chicago and 25 miles, and it came up with over 100 people that are on Greenwire and live within 25 miles of Chicago. So we have a lot of people that we can reach out to. And the best way that we can do this is to just individually shout on everyone's profile, because then you're really engaging with them on a one-to-one level and personally inviting them to your event and personally inviting them to join your group, which is really awesome and is going to make them feel more welcome and also get people to show up to your event. All right, so we can also search by zip code. So I'm not sure what the zip code is of Chicago, but we can do 61701, which is Bloomington, Illinois, where I went to college, and click apply and see how many folks come up with this. This is probably going to be more likely of a number that you folks will get, since a lot of you are starting groups in areas that we don't have Greenpeace offices, and so you're in kind of smaller cities. So you can more easily reach out to these folks. You'll probably have more than 5 people, but you probably won't have over 100. So it's a little less daunting. So we can see the zip code just comes up with the same thing. So let's go back to Chicago. And let's say that we're going to host a big rally with a big coalition, and we want some really amazing, amazing banners. So I'm going to type in painting as a skill to see who within 25 miles has listed painting as a skill. And then I'm going to click apply, and everyone's going to come up. And then I have 8 people that I can reach out to, and I can say, hey, we're doing this really amazing event, and we need some really, really incredible artwork that we can share, and we want to create these really awesome banners. And I saw that you listed painting as a skill, so you should definitely come out and help us. So this is a great way for people to really, once again, use their unique skill set to get involved, and get involved in a way that is going to be really successful for them and a way that they can really feel ownership of what they're doing. All right, so we can also search by school, by profession, or by group. So let's say that I want to find everyone that's in the Save the Arctic group, and that's also in Greenpeace Chicago. And I can click apply, and everyone that's in both of those groups is going to come up. And so then if I'm hosting an Arctic event, I can be sure that the folks that are in the Save the Arctic group and Greenpeace Chicago are really jazzed about going, because those are the people that are obviously really excited about the Arctic campaign since they're already in that group. So I can do a little more personal outreach to those folks. All right. So like I said, I can just reach out to these folks by shouting on their walls and inviting them to join my group. All right, so the last thing that we're going to go over is content. So when we go back to the home page, like I said earlier, this is all going to show up in the overview. So you're going to go to the content tab and click, let's start with a blog. So blogs are amazing. We love blogs on Greenwire. these are the best way that you can share best practices and share stories of what your group has been doing. And they don't even have to be anything that elaborate. They can just be really simple. For example, this blog that Roshini, one of our group leaders, posted was about that her group was able to generate 100 calls to the White House. And so she posted this picture and then really just this kind of short paragraph telling the story of how they went to their local park and they asked folks to call the White House and they were able to generate 100 calls. And that's so incredible and really inspiring to the community. And we can also see how supportive the community is of Roshini and the work that she's done. So that's really great. And also blogs are a great way to engage volunteers that are maybe new to your group and they're not really sure how they want to get involved. So if you have an event or a meeting and you ask someone to post a blog about it on Greenwire, that's a great way for them to feel ownership of something and feel responsibility in the group. But it's also a pretty low level ask. So it's not asking them to do kind of this huge thing, but it's still allowing them to get engaged. All right, so if you want to add a new blog, you can click this orange button here that says add your blog. And then like your event, you're going to want to choose which group this is a part of. So if I'm going to tell a story about Greenpeace Chicago, I want to make sure that I'm including Greenpeace Chicago as well. And so I want this to be for all registered users, once again, so that everyone on Greenwire can really share these stories and learn from these stories. And then the body, I can include photos and videos that I can embed. I can include links. I can edit my text to make it look fancy, which is cool. And then you want to make sure that you select an image for your blog. So you just click select media here and then choose a file to upload. So we can see Roshini has this picture from her group. So if sharing photos from your events is really great, and it's a really great way to really make your work come alive on Greenwire. And then tags, we can say Save the Arctic. And then when someone is searching Save the Arctic, this blog will come up and they'll be able to read it. It's really exciting. All right, so some other content that you can post are photos. So this is a really great example of a photo album from an event that Greenpeace New York City did. Once again, around sustainable seafood. So we can go through, and this event looks awesome. Everyone looks like they're having a really great time. They have some awesome posters. And once again, this is just representative of the type of events that Greenpeace New York City hosts and the ways that people can get involved in New York. And then there's just a small caption talking about what we did. And then I love that Steve Buckley does this. He says, if you want to make a stand for our planet and happen to be in New York, you should join us Thursdays at 7 o'clock. So everything is a plug for your group. You really want people to get engaged and you want to give them every opportunity to get involved with you. All right, so we can also add an album. So we can click add an album here. And then you're just gonna drag your photos here, or you can click add and then upload whatever photos you wanna upload. And then this is all gonna work the same way as the blog. So you can add your group, or you can make this for only the members of a selected group. All right, so then you can also add news if you want to add some campaign updates or share some news files that you've seen that are relevant to your work, videos, documents, and then actually we're going to go to the documents tab now. So this is a great place to put toolkits and flyers. For example, Brian recently shared on this tabling information handout. So this is going to help folks that want to do tabling at events and petitioning. And it's really just a toolkit that anyone can use. And that you're sharing with the community as a whole, or once again, you can share it only with your group. So if you want to share that out with everyone to make sure that they have the resources they need for an event, or that you just want to share with the community something that was really successful for your group, this is a great place to do that. All right, so that's all I've got for content. And then the last thing that I want to say is just that Greenwire really is your oyster. It's a place for you to come and really see the possibilities of what you can do in your community and how you can get involved, and to find other people that are really wanting to get involved in your community and to build an amazing group and do some really, really amazing work. Um, so we are so appreciative of all of our volunteers, and we love having you guys. And if you guys have any questions, I would really love to talk with you more. You can reach out to me on Greenwire anytime. I love helping folks figure out how Greenwire works, and to really use it to the best of their ability to grow their groups. All right, so that's going to be all that I have for you. And like I said, reach out to me anytime with questions. And thank you so much for watching my training. All right, have a great day.